Welcome back to the Gas Bags. We're maybe a day later than we thought we were going to be, but that's all good. Today, I think we've got this beautiful bouquet of bagels to honor National Bagel Day, which, in some degree, right? I don't know that I've ever been excited about bagels.
Yeah, it's one. Well, okay, it depends. If I'm in like New York or something.
Oh wait, fresh bagels.
Yeah, like
legit. It's at a deli. They're back there boiling.
Like it's like a Northeast thing. If I'm like in one of those cities or something, we got some okay bagels. There's a couple spots in Born a Bagel, Maya Bagel Express. Both are from New York, so shit's pretty good. Burgers, they're not bad. They're not bad. Okay. I think they're a national chain like Einstein Brothers. I could be totally wrong. About that.
Chains are never the best.
Yeah, but they're exactly. They're fine. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. But
today we're going to evaluate the big dog and how he's been putting it on Kentucky, right?
Well, I mean, it's one of those things where I kind of want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, full disclosure, Jenky, we should probably introduce ourselves. Nick Valvano, if you don't know. Jason Jenkins. Jenky, Nick, we're both UofL fans. So sometimes we can look through things with a cardinal-colored glass.
Yes.
But, I mean, the rankings kind of speak for themselves, and numerous ones. We'll get to it. Both UK, UofL, I think, have done pretty well in the portal.
Yeah, I
agree. So I think we can look at it unbiasedly there. But the narrative going around, and it was something that we got into on the take today.
Yeah.
The whole Trey Richardson thing is, and I mean, there's been a lot of shots fired across the bow between both UofL and UK, with mostly between Vince Marrow and Pete Nocta.
Yes. Yeah.
And
it's great tweets.
It's great content,
absolutely.
and I don't personally know either one of them. It's kind of funny. My Lexington friends told me Vince Marrow was a very nice guy back when he was with them, and I feel like as we've gotten to know him, once he came to the Louisville side, I've heard good things about him. Obviously, my Louisville friends were pretty close with one of them. We're close with Pete Nocta before he joined the blue side. So they seem both like decent guys. From what I've heard, I don't really have that many personal interactions with them. But I do think it's safe to say that I think it's gone a little bit beyond friendly banter to I don't think the two of them like each other.
Well, yeah, or maybe not. I don't think they're at the dislike point. I think they're indifferent of their existence.
Maybe, but there definitely seems to be some.
I wouldn't call it hate yet.
No, I don't think it's hate, but I do think someone kind of presented this narrative, and they don't know it. But I mean, if you just look at the picture, they went head to head on the recruiting trail
for a long time. At opposite
ends, obviously Nocta on the red side, Marrow on the blue side.
Yeah.
I think they were. I don't have it written in front of me. I'm sure there were victories on both sides. Yeah. I feel like it seemed that Marrow was winning the in-state battles more consistently.
Probably and going after the battleground in Ohio.
Yeah,
presidential election.
Right. And Lexington had that well-established Ohio pipeline. Youngstown strong. So Marrow, I think, was in the head-to-head, probably had the better record over Nocta.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, and I'm not saying it was a shutout, and the people that are more dialed into the recruiting picture could probably show me the scoreboard.
And I feel like even in their best year and even in our best year, the separation between the two was never.
No, yeah.
It was never massive. There was never a huge valley between the quality of players that either one of us was getting. We were just getting different players. I feel like Kentucky, for a long time, up until Jeff Brom got here, was really leading in the ability to get offensive linemen.
I totally agree with that. The big blue wall was
defensive line too.
But especially
building SEC quality lines at that particular point.
I mean, the big blue wall was a major talking point for off the top of my head, like 4 straight years.
Yeah.
And
it made the current Louisville King, Benny Snell, all kinds of money.
It did, and also to me it was the most glaring difference in the Governor's Cup during the Satterfield era when they were losing. Yeah, there were skill players that I think could go toe to toe, but in the trenches, it looked like varsity JV.
Yeah.
So obviously, the transfer portal closing tomorrow.
We made Will Levis too. Jesus,
that's a good point. That's a good point. But the story kind of came out about Trey Richardson.
Yeah.
And
which the irony of we're fighting over a Vanderbilt.
The times they are changing.
Time to be alive.
If there's ever an indication that the times they are changing, Indiana's playing for a national championship on Monday, and we are. Who is
great? He's a great receiver.
He's wide receiver one. He'd be wide receiver one for either team.
And he wasn't Vanderbilt.
Yeah,
literally, this dude's great.
No, he's fantastic.
But that's who we're fighting over.
But Louisville,
I think maybe the combination of Richardson and Wayne, from Florida State, chased off the Gilmore kid.
Oh yeah,
I think it chased off Antonio Meeks too.
Maybe.
Not that Antonio Meeks is better than either one of them, but he had been here for a while.
You want to change the pace.
Yeah, if he wants to be wide receiver one, he's gonna have to go. He's gonna have to be somewhere else, especially if the kid from Elon, the Furman kid.
Yeah.
Especially if he shows up, Meeks has got no shot of seeing the field.
Well,
he's supposedly there today, I think.
Is he?
That was there's a visit that is either today or tomorrow, but he's in the area, and apparently we're in the high running for him.
Well, Richardson officially signed today, this afternoon,
yes,
I believe.
Yeah,
that was official, but there was a lot of wringing of hands and gnashing of teeth going around that UK tried to poach him late, and he rebuffed them, and Marrow does what Marrow does, gets on Twitter, takes the shot.
Richardson responded too.
Yeah, he did. And
so, like, if there is no fire, if it didn't happen, there's no reason for him to even remotely make a comment.
I had a theory, and we talked about this late first hour on the take today with Andy Sweeney. We kind of weighed in on it. And Andy kind of had the theory that this was Marrow using this as a...
It's not an awful one.
It's not awful, and I do think there's some merit to it. I do think there's a little smoke to the fire, but I think it got blown out of... I don't want to say blown out of proportion, but it was used as a propaganda thing.
They absolutely contacted him when he was in the uncommitted status, for sure, at a bare minimum.
Right.
Guaranteed, because you have to.
No, he caught 3 touchdowns against them. I mean,
you have to make a contact to a kid like that.
No, absolutely. But I think it was interesting. He turned us down. He turned you down. This is Louisville fans saying this to the UK side. The UK side then saying, well, we never offered him. For a split second, I got a flashback to, remember Irish Hulk, the Aiden Gahan thing? Yeah, there was for a split second, I know. But I got like a quick like deja vu moment with that. But I think it was Jacob Polwicek went on the KSR boards and said that no, they never really offered him. If you go on the UofL boards, it's littered with people saying that they went after him. Yeah. He said no. Marrow stiff-armed him. Trey Richardson obviously adds fuel to the fire by addressing it on social media. Marrow makes the tweet saying, I forgot exactly, but not a chance. He's staying here. Not a boo-boo. And it turns into, of course it turned.
How old is Vince Marrow?
Yeah, I don't know why it turned him into a 7-year-old there.
Right.
Like, well,
I'm just saying, like, in general. Like the way that he does, and he did it while he was at UK, but in the way that he is on Twitter and the way he engages in social media, it is like he's a very confused 28-year-old. I think the guy's really good at what he does, and I thought he was good at Kentucky, and I am glad that he's here. But it's a comical part of who he is.
Oh, it's definitely. But it was a part that was missing throughout the season. Like he made a couple of.
Because he used to tweet during the season
at
Kentucky.
Yeah, he was way more vocal.
Yeah.
And then he was basically radio silent minus a tweet here and there. Whenever it happened, everyone been like, oh, Vince is tweeting but it never really had the Vince spice to it until the portal season happened. Yeah. And now he's been very active.
This is his job, right?
Right.
This is why this and some of the high school recruitment, which, you still need, but it's not as important, I don't think, anymore. Because there's too big a chance somebody stays.
Right.
Right. I mean, you're watching Sean Boykins went to Montana because he's gonna be featured.
Right.
Right. Like if he's gonna grow, and then there's nothing that says that Sean Boykins doesn't go to Montana, get his time, wait for the vacuum to happen, and for him to pop back into a school that's like Louisville.
Right.
Right. Because he wants reps.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And this day and age of NIL and transfer portal, and basically free agency, I think that there's a portion of the fan base that is still clamoring for development of players, for recruiting high school kids.
I want a 2-year quarterback. I just want to see. I want to see.
Yeah,
I just want to see it.
Yeah, especially the QB position.
I just want to know. I just want to know.
Well,
it's not going to be better.
I mean, I've said it, like we've said it on the take, and I think Andy and I are in agreement that we feel Brom is 1-1-1 with the 3 quarterbacks: a hit with Tyler Shuck, a loss with Miller Moss, a push with Jack Plummer, and if you really want to cut it down, I think you could say maybe Plummer was more on the loss than a win, but he didn't struggle as much, and they obviously made it to the ACC championship with him. So that's why I'm okay doing it in soccer terms is 1-1-1. One win, 1 loss, 1 draw.
I can live with. Miami's playing for the national championship. I just want. I don't know.
No, it's
like I don't know if we've talked about that enough, but Miami's playing for the national championship in like 4 days. Right?
It's crazy.
We dominated that game. So I don't want to take the critical eye that you live in the moment, right? Because I think that's what we're doing around Miller Moss. And I'm not saying he's great or anything like that. What I'm saying is I don't think he's better or worse than Jack Plummer. I do not believe he's better or worse than Jack Plummer. I believe the outcome of the season was better or worse. I also think that we played in a much worse version of the ACC that year.
I don't know.
8-6 against SEC this year. I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that up.
No, I mean that's fair.
But I know everybody knows that number. But like the 8-6, the ACC versus the SEC, the gap is not there.
Maybe I'm drinking the SEC Kool-Aid that is constantly served to us, but there's a part of me that thinks it was more so that the SEC was down this year than the ACC necessarily was up. I
think we're looking.
Duke, Virginia was the ACC championship game.
I get it. I entirely understand. However, do I think that I think that the Alabama's Alabama. I don't have a ton of faith in what Oklahoma did, and Ole Miss.
How are they going to be post Kiffin? Like
I don't want to judge what they looked like the other day against Miami because they weren't they're not the same. They didn't finish as the same team. They just didn't. I realized they were still good, but they weren't the same team, and that matters.
I think they played inspired when Kiffin left, and then they were like,
I think they smashed Tulane on purpose.
Yeah,
like it was we're going to show they wore jerseys that Kiffin hated. They crushed Tulane again. Like it was all intentional to make sure that they knew we could be successful without.
Right.
Not that they didn't need him, but that we can do this without him.
Yeah, and then they advanced to the point where I think like they were like, oh shit, like,
right.
we made it this far.
Remember, Miami was the second best team in the country for like 3 or 4 weeks. Is what everybody
was saying.
Was saying, right? Like the defense, Miami's defense is elite.
Especially the pass rush.
We have some moments where they got handled properly, us being one of them, SMU being another one. But we're better. We're better. We're closer than we thought we were. I'm not saying this because I love Miller Moss or that I think he's a great quarterback. I just can't say that I believe that this season was a loss off of Miller Moss. Do I think he could have been better? Yes. Do I think that it's all his fault? Not even.
Oh, no. I echo that sentiment.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought, we made the arguments, Steve and I, Rummage on middays, that we thought that he would have a better offensive line in front of him than he had at USC. And that did not, that was not the case.
Was just not there in the same way. That's
No,
correct.
and you had injuries
and you asked him to do stuff that he'd never done before. My immediate criticism of Kindholtz, because I did go watch literally every snap,
all 50 of them.
Right, like
Yeah.
I watched the Scarlet and Gray game, and I watched every snap he took in the game. He got under center like once or twice. Not that you can't be taught to do that, but if you're not fucking comfortable, it does make the rest of your job hard, right? Like you can't just be like, oh yeah, like this is just a different part. Well, who cares if you're under center and shotgun? Well, to a quarterback that's trying to make decisions, that if the game is too fast, it makes a huge difference. That second and a half is invaluable to their brain.
True.
So, and
I mean, we saw what Miller Moss did when he was sped up.
Yeah, we need that ability to be under center because our running back group is the way that they are, and we need to be able to feature them. So that quarterback has to be able to get under center, and you can't just get under center when you're running because then they all fucking know.
Right. Yeah, it kind of tips your hand a little bit. Hold that thought on Kindholtz. Keenholtz, I think. Yeah.
We're going to get it right.
Yeah, we're going to get it right eventually.
It took forever to get Shuck right. So
Yeah, right. Yeah, I called him Tyler, and some people still call him Shug. Yeah. They turned who's it? Nancy from King of the Hill. They call him Shug all the time.
Shug.
Yeah, but we'll get to the transfer portal and who's coming in and everything like that. Because I want to get your grades on that. And the best way to probably be part of the show would be to hit us up on Twitter.
Yep.
Do you have the YouTube feed in front of you?
I do.
If you want to comment, if you're watching on YouTube, ESPN Louisville Plus, like, share, and subscribe. We usually do the Gas Bags podcast once a week, typically on Tuesdays. We've had to move it around a little bit just based on basketball and logistics of getting Jenky and I together. And Tanner's usually the third member of the tripod, if you will. Shout out to Justin Sofero, as always, for helping put this together on ESPN Louisville Plus. But yeah, typically we're on Tuesdays. We're doing a Thursday edition this week. But yeah, like, share, and subscribe if you don't already do that. If you want to comment on the YouTube page, that's probably the best way to do that. You can also comment. We have this airing on ESPN Louisville at ESPN 680. Yep. You can at me, at Nikki Vespin,
Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff.
Twitter, Facebook, all of those. But that's probably the best way. Comment on the YouTube stream. Jenky has that. Comment on the Twitter feed. I have that. And we can work in some of your thoughts throughout the show. But it's unabashed clickbait. I love the work that Justin Sofero does, but but the Vince Marrow body bag.
It is. It's one of the best. It's one of the best graphics that he's put together. It's fantastic.
It's hilarious. But I do want to get back. Let's put a bow on that story. Where do you lean on the who is being honest here, or more so, was it truly Louisville stiff-arming UK and holding on to this guy? Was it UK just kicking the tires? And I made the analogy today on the take that it was a girl at the bar. A guy went up, said, "I'll buy you a drink." He flashed the ring, said, "Hey, I'm married, I'm engaged. Sorry, not interested." And they went on their merry way. Or did they not even offer him? Andy made the point today that Marrow probably is having to adjust to the fact that UK hates him now because he was so beloved. Right. I thought that was a pretty good argument, or a good I don't want to say rhetoric, but Andy was kind of painting a picture, and I could see that being the case. I could also see mine where it was simply just, this is a good receiver. It's a need for both teams. We got to kick the tires on him. He's not signed immediately. Let's send him a text. You up? No, thank you. Enough said.
I'm browsing the receiving signees for Kentucky right now.
Okay.
Brock Kaufman, So I don't know if you know that he was on our team last year.
Mm-hmm.
He played. He was freshman at UofL.
Ah.
I realize that you don't know the name because he
Nah.
was inconsequential.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I wish all the best for the kid. Please go develop, do something great for your family.
Right.
However, we don't know him because he didn't matter.
Yeah, right. Didn't have an impact.
Jacaden Ferguson.
It's a great name.
From Arkansas. And I don't know anything about him. And there was one other. But these guys are 85, 86 rated guys. They did not get what appears to be like, this is our number one receiver. And I don't think they had it at one, because wasn't Gilmore lead their team last year?
Him or Law.
It was one of those two.
Yeah, it was one of
right?
those two. I'm almost positive.
So I don't know that they have a number one guy at this exact moment. Is Law still there? I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I think
Senior.
yeah, he either graduated or forgive me, UK fans, correct me in the comments.
Right, absolutely.
But I don't think he's back, because that would have been.
I don't, like I said, I don't have a number one guy right now. And if you don't have one, why would you not?
Yeah, right.
Why would you not? Why would you, again, is it an aggressive offer of like, Pete Nocta picked up the phone and is like, hey, fuck that city. Don't go there. Come to Lexington.
Yeah, right.
We're way better than they are.
Or was it just simply kicking the tires?
Right.
Or was it truly
Check out
like
these Master P Gold ceilings.
was it, or is it more towards the clickbaity title that Marrow just stiff armed him? It was like, no, he's staying here, damn it.
Because I think they knew before that they were out on DeAndre Moore.
Yeah.
I think when he went to Colorado, even though he didn't announce until yesterday, I think maybe early this morning, one of the two. I think when he went to Colorado, I think it was done. Mm-hmm. Now, do I think it's a good choice? No. I think he visited every other place that he visited was a better option than Colorado. But whatever, hey. Yeah,
I don't know if it was just simply the bag. I don't know if it was DeAndre Moore. If it was Dion, I don't know. I mean, the stock for, and I want to be sensitive to it because I know Coach Prime has had some health issues, but the stock of Colorado has dropped dramatically since since Travis Hunter and Shadur Sanders left. Like it was, they had 4 wins last year. It was not.
Yeah, it's not good.
It was not stellar. So I don't know, but it's interesting you mentioned Moore because that was, I think, if the Trey Richardson
Moore would have been good for them.
No, Moore would have been good for good here too. I mean,
I think Trey Richardson pushed Moore away from us.
I think that might be the case, and I think that had DeAndre Moore come here, I think Richardson still would be receiver 1, and Moore would be 2.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that's also true.
I like Lil Wayne.
But DeAndre,
I don't like him as a player yet, but I like him as.
Moore was pretty much, I think, the only major player of merit because I know there's a bunch of Wildcats that played on the team last year that are now on the Cards, a bunch of Cards that played on the team that are now on UK. So, but like you said, a lot of these players, not necessarily the biggest impact players, maybe young.
Correct.
But
some of them are young, some of them, again, Brock Hoffman could turn out to be a
fun
player.
We'll see.
Quinsbury was Mr. Football.
Right.
In the same year that Boykins was at in high school. So, like, Boykins is a good player. I think he's a quality person to have on your team. I would bet that Quinsbury is the same.
Yeah, no, but it's Moore was, I would say, impact player that I felt, correct me if I'm wrong, that was really a head-to-head between UK and therefore Nocta and UofL and therefore Marrow.
And nobody.
And neither, nobody. There was nowhere to really plant the flag that we won in the head-to-head.
Correct, yeah.
But with Moore going to Colorado. And I think that is what's really fueling this Richardson thing, that this is an impact player. We need a decided victory or a decided loss, depending on what side you're on. Right. And I feel like both sides could be kind of dealing with the copium a little bit, but UK more so in the sense that Richardson is ultimately coming to UofL, signing today. What's that say? I can't see it. Miller Moss.
Stauble.
Oh, Anthony Stauble.
There you go.
Silver Creek alum. What's up, Stauble? Good to see you, man. We were in the same homeroom. Played baseball together.
There you go.
Yeah, shout out Anthony Stauble. Cheers, buddy. But yeah, I just I can't I don't know what side I believe the most. Anthony, sorry, I'm thinking Stauble. Andy painted a pretty good picture of what this all could be.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe, yeah.
Kayfabe. I got it. Yeah.
Vince Marrow taking the opportunity, running with the rhetoric that UK made a push for his guy,
right?
Winning, dunking on Nocta again, and also taking a shot at all the Lexington people that once adored him that are now vilifying him. And we did say that Marrow does have the personality on Twitter to take the victory, to spin that, to weave that narrative. But I don't know how much merit there is to it. I don't know what the offer was from Kentucky, but it does seem like there was enough smoke that if I'm a UK fan, even if I lost Richardson to my arch rival, I would like to know that my university was kicking the tires on him.
Correct.
I mean, the guy dropped 3 tutties against you. You saw firsthand what he could do to you.
Right, yeah.
So I would even if you lost, I would be more upset. And this is what I think is interesting. All the UK people that are on the message boards rallying around the Jacob Polacek report that UK didn't go after Richardson, saying, "Well, we didn't want him anyway."
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Like, why would you? I would be more upset that you didn't go after him, even if you lost him. And it sounded like he was already going. Kick the tire, shoot your shot, go to the girl at the bar and offer to buy her a drink. If she says, "Hey, I'm engaged," all right, cool. Well, whatever, you tried.
Is what it is. Yep.
Right, you didn't make a fool of yourself.
I agree. And like I said, and looking at the two teams, like I've seen, we've got 27 incoming. A guy just committed earlier today. A huge body. Joshua Donald. He's 6'2", listed at 320. I don't know what he was at Houston last year, but he recorded no stats, so I don't know if he was injured or not. But previously at App State, where the last time he recorded stats. But 6'2", 320,
big body,
defensive lineman, dead in the middle of the line. Okay, maybe they see something that, hey, we've got to protect this particular thing. This would be our setup for it.
What's Sofaro saying? Okay, there we go.
But yeah, just not a highly rated guy, but maybe that was because he's injured last year. Maybe he's got more potential. I don't know. I don't know if he was injured last year. I just know he recorded 0 stats at the University of Houston. Didn't see the field.
Yeah.
And usually that generally means hurt.
Yeah, right.
Right? Because it's tough to not get on the field at all because he's a senior right now. So as a junior last year, you would think that
he would get playing time if healthy. Yeah, there had to be some sort of reason.
Yeah.
That I think is a good way to segue. That was a great sentence by me.
Good way to segue.
A good way to segue. Wow, a lot of ways there. Into what you think of the job that both teams, and we could even touch on Indiana. I mean, they're doing obviously big things with they land Hoover, the TCU quarterback.
I feel the same way about him that I felt about Bill and Moss in the beginning. And throughout the season, honestly, he's fine. He's not great. Yeah, I don't love Hoover. I'm glad that we didn't really. And for probably every bit of $2 million plus.
At least I would think at least. And I know that some of these offers are only getting upped because of the desperation.
Correct.
But
Hoover was an early go.
Right.
So, but at the same time, there's not a ton about what TCU did last year and anything that he did that I'm like blown away by. Like that, I don't think
I didn't watch enough TCU to really get. I'd be fake taking. I'm just going off of what other people have said. Finish your thoughts. Sorry.
The opening game against North Carolina, and that opening game, I thought to myself like, oh shit, like, holy, they might be good,
right?
And then North Carolina was awful, and I was like,
right,
okay. I got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter. I got it. That one did not work. If the genie popped out, the sports genie said you could pick one quarterback for next year, I would have gone with Sagapulitelli from Cal.
Right. Absolutely.
But obviously
he wasn't even available.
Yeah,
so
right. So it didn't matter. But of the names that were mentioned, the Levitts, the Lagways, the Rayolas, the Hoovers, I kind of liked Hoover the best. Just again, it'd be fake taking,
right?
Even though I'm wearing kind of TCU colors, I watched maybe a quarter of TCU football. I think it was in that opening UNC game. It was probably the biggest sample size I got. But just off of what other people were saying, and also the idea of price tag, I felt like he was kind of at the top of. And again, we don't know what the salary cap is for each individual school. It's kind of held close to the vest. But I felt like realistically, he was at the top of what Louisville could afford.
Right.
And I don't know if they could afford him, obviously with all the players that they retained.
Right, going after
the Lubins, the Browns, the Watts, the Greens, everything like that. So I don't know if he was in their price range.
And when I'm looking at, I'm going through and I'm flipping through the quarterbacks, and not all of them were there whenever we picked up Keenholtz.
I got
Keenholtz. We're gonna have to figure that out.
Yeah.
When we picked him up, I don't love most of them. I don't like. Levitt's too expensive.
Has the broken foot.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorsby was going to be too expensive. It looks like, they've got his NIL value at 3.3. It's probably a little bit more than that. Texas Tech probably paid.
I didn't hate Sorsby just because of the accuracy.
It was just too much money.
Too much money for, and I don't know how much it was Satterfield.
And we talked about Raiola, and whereas I think there are good things about him, I can't tell if he's going to. I don't know. I can't tell if he's going to materialize into anything worth a shit. DJ Lagway, awful.
Oh, well, I don't know how much of that was Billy Knapp's and how much of that was.
I mean, I hope the kid does, because he was at South Carolina first, I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
And just couldn't see the field and ends up in Florida.
And turns the ball over 15 times.
As often as possible.
Right.
But
did he have more turnovers than touchdowns? I can't remember. It was like 15-14, and I don't remember which was which.
Wasn't good.
But yeah.
But I just, there was nothing about him that was impressive to me. So when looking at, and Kentucky got, I think, a valuable dude in Minchie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love him any more than I love what I've seen out of Keenholtz. Notre Dame had that, was it on Prime?
They probably Peacock, right? It would have been Peacock, because NBC,
it probably was on Peacock. They had that thing, and I watched just a little bit of that.
Oh, that documentary thing,
Minchie looks good in practice. He looks good.
Mm-hmm.
So he did practice at Notre Dame. Notre Dame's got quality players. They play at a pretty high level.
Right?
Good facilities, just like what we're trying to equate out of Keenholtz. With
Ohio State.
Hey, we're guessing. Both of us are guessing.
No, 100%.
We're guessing.
I do think it's interesting.
The thing I like about Keenholtz is his physical size. He's a little bit of a beefier kid. He's got some body to him.
A little girth.
Yeah, a little. Yeah, he's a little thick.
Yeah,
and I like that. I like him thick. So
I've heard that.
But the thing that Kentucky did that I don't hate any of the guys that we got, because the one person I can't figure out is is it Daughtry? Is that who the lineman was?
I think so.
That we got, because he is so I like the aesthetic of On Three.
Yeah.
I like looking at the page. However, they are schizophrenic in their ratings all over the place, right? I've seen Daughtry at a high 92, and right now he's at a 90.5, and it literally has
just jumped all over
every time I refresh to see if there's a new guy. His rating changes. At one point, he was the highest rated player we were getting. And now he's a 3-star.
Well, I mean,
he was a 4-star before, and now he's a 3-star. I can't off three. I can't judge their rating scale but I do like looking at their page. Their page is pretty. Like it makes my eyes happy.
It is a very aesthetically, which is it's easy. Yeah, no, it's easy. It's easy to consume.
Looks like a child put it together. it looks like I asked an 8th grader to be like, "Hey, make me a web page."
it was like in a high school web making class. Well, it's interesting you mentioned all three. Louisville 4th in their rankings, I believe. I think I'm looking at this right. Indiana 2.
Yeah.
Texas Tech obviously number 1,
and there's
A&M number 3.
There's some teams that are up there that like intentionally they should be up there because the coaching thing.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to get
UK 35. Now I know On 3 factors in who they lost,
correct,
who they came in,
plus,
and
minus.
everything. Now there's this website I stumbled upon called collegefootballdepth.com.
Word.
And they take in, and I don't know if On 3 does this. I know On 3 factors in the loss, like not just who's coming in, but who left.
Yep.
I know they factor that in. I don't know if they factor in all the things that CFB Depth does. And there's a million of these websites, but this was just one I stumbled on, and I thought it was interesting because I think they really take into. They have a talent metric, they have a depth metric, they have who's coming in, who's going out, a coaching metric. And I think they throw all of those into these rankings. And I think it's interesting that they have IU 2 as well.
Right.
Now, Louisville is 30th. They moved up, or 31st.
Yeah.
They moved up from, I believe, 33 or 34 last week.
Okay.
So with all the additions, the Trey Richardson officially signing everything, I would assume that the movement of the last week help them jump up about 3 or 4 spots.
Right.
And I just think that's interesting because this is a metric that looks at all kinds of things. Well, and they have UK at 54. On 3 has them at 35, I believe.
So On 3, I go to the rankings thing and I'm looking at it and it's got us as 5 4-stars. But if you go back and you look at the actual rating of the players, we have 2.
Right.
Like I said, schizophrenic. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be believing here.
Well, we always joked as Louisville fans that On 3 had a UofL bias. So a guy that would be a 5-star that commits to UofL suddenly becomes a 3-star, and everything like that. But I do think that, I mean, there were even some times where I try not to be a honk and a homer.
Correct.
But even I was looking at it and scratching my head and be like, okay, there has to be some anti-UofL bias on this. But I do think that it's gotten better. Right. I think it's gotten better. And I don't know if it's just because they have Louisville ranked 4th and I'm just drinking Kool-Aid or what. But I would say I think UofL, the job they did, I would put it at a B+, A-. I feel like obviously I think it's pretty good.
I would have lineman.
That's the reason I'm gonna give UK I think I would say UofL at A-, UK a B+. Yeah. But what's carrying UK is the work they did in the trenches.
Now I don't want to disparage the kid that came from South Carolina or the kid that came from it's Georgia Southern. Yeah. Georgia Southern. I don't think that I think we probably got good guys. And we had some depth come back, not a lot. And again, where we're stuck at is who is the center?
Yeah, with what's his name graduating?
Nigra.
Pete Nigra. Yeah, thank you.
But again, tomorrow the portal closes, which means nobody can get in. But you can still move. Like if you're in the portal and you're uncommitted, because I believe there are going to be people that are doing this, that are going to go
waiting until the dust settles,
wait for everything to settle out, and then you're going to see some movement of uncommitted players that maybe they're just paying their way for this semester in the spring until they can go, yes, this is absolutely where I want to go. Hopefully there is, because that would be like the thoughtful process. Like, hey, look at these mature kids,
right?
But I hope. And maybe some of them are just waiting for more money.
Yeah, well, that's something I wanted to ask you. If there is a push, do you think that you're finding diamonds in the rough, or are you finding castoffs? It's the danger of a clearance sale.
It is.
You go into a clearance sale, you can find bargains, but you can also just find, oh wow, those are quadruple XL pants.
Yeah, like
not even my fat ass fills.
What's the thing that your dad bought last year?
Something from Temu.
Probably. The mixer.
Yeah, the Temu mixer. It could be awesome. It could also be a Temu mixer.
Right.
Like, it could be a diamond in the rough.
Right.
Like, and I do think it's interesting that the quarterbacks for both these teams are kind of being angled as diamonds in the rough.
I agree.
I would say that, and that's not a shot at either one, but
They were both at high-level schools.
But they were backups.
Playing behind someone. And I realize that Kentucky's done this before, and Brock Vandagriff is a complete and total fucking bust. Mm-hmm. But, again, I don't think anyone talked about Vandagriff in the way that they talked about Keenholz or even the way they talked about Minchie. Right? Yeah. I do not believe Georgia fans or people who are actively observing and evaluating the Georgia program ever talked about Vandagriff like he was going to be good.
Right. Well, he
was there, and
Strebel. We have a promo. We have a promo going of Strebel saying, "Don't believe it," because I got bit. Why people telling me that Vandagriff was great, and he feels like Louisville fans are doing the same thing.
No one was telling anybody. Listen, Kentucky fans went trying to find anyone to tell them that Vandagriff was great.
Well, yeah, I mean,
because it didn't happen organically. Like none of it happened. They were just like, "Hey, he's gone." Yeah, sure.
I think it's going to be really interesting.
Whereas literally the day that Keenholz went into the portal, like before we actually had him, there were people, buck nuts and whatnot, that were praising the kid as a viable competitor inside of the quarterback room. Even there with the guy somebody that went to the Heisman ceremony,
right?
Julian saying, right, like, hey, listen, we have what's considered to be a great quarterback. This guy was going to give him another run for his money.
Right.
So, whoever gets him is lucky.
Yeah, he had some chops, is what
no one was telling anybody that Vandagriff was pushing Stetson Bennett or Carson Beck.
Right.
No one was saying that.
Yeah, he was.
At all. What came out is like, well, I mean, he knows what football is and stuff. Like, he's seen one of those things. Like, and Kentucky fans were like, see, they said he was great. He knows what a football is. And to some degree, that was good for them at that moment. It made them feel good about it.
And then 8 months later, he quit football.
8 months later, he decided football's not part of his life.
Getting into medical sales or wherever.
Whatever. Which, not a bad choice.
No, not
medical sales.
I know a lot of ex-athletes that got into that or advertising and are making a whole lot more money than me.
Yeah.
And are very successful, and I'm happy for them. But I think it's really going to be interesting with Stein and Brom that they both got a guy very similar, a backup. And I think Minchie has had similar things come out that it's not a Vandagriff. He's more like Keenholz than
they talk
than
about him in that the thing on the little documentary that happened. Like, yeah, he was almost the guy.
Yeah, right.
Like, he was right on the edge. And you talk about Keenholz. He won the Iron Buckeye. And apparently, the Iron Buckeye is a big fucking deal.
Right. I think it's going to be really. We're talking. We started the show talking about the Marrow versus Nocta battle on the recruiting scale. In the transfer portal and everything. I think it's going to be really interesting to see. Brom is supposed to be this great quarterback developer and a great mind. And Will Stein is a young up-and-comer. I think both guys have it's sort of like, it reminds me of Iron Chef, that they both have the same ingredients. It's not like Brom's starting with filet mignon and Stein has chuck roast. They both have a decent cut of meat.
Yep.
Who is going to be able to turn that into a better dish?
So, whereas I like Stein a lot, right? I do because, again, he was a Cardinal. He was, I think, a really great Cardinal while he was here. Maybe not great as a player, but great as a person who represented the university and went on to do really good things. I will ask the question, how good is Dylan Gabriel? How good is Moore? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
so you're saying that he was in a 5-star restaurant cooking with some pretty good Wagyu.
No. What I'm saying is I don't think they're very good.
Really?
Well,
Gabriel, I could hear the argument, but Moore, I don't know. Like I know he's.
I think he's back in college because he knew that he wasn't capable of playing in the NFL.
I think he's back in college because he doesn't want to play for my fucking Jets.
Well,
I think that's the reason.
That is a tough spot to be. However, I don't think he was going to end up getting drafted. Mendoza's going to go pretty high. I don't love the fact that he's going high. I think there are better offensive linemen in this draft. I think there are better defensive linemen in this draft. I think there are better corners going into this draft that are more valuable to a team than either one of the two quarterbacks that were listed as 1 and 2. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not saying draft position 1 and 2, but quarterbacks 1 and 2. I feel this is an incredibly thin quarterback group. I think Mendoza will do fine. I do not believe he's a freak athlete that can throw all over the field and is going to make a gigantic impact. I think Tyler Shuck's a better quarterback.
No, I mean
Tyler Shuck's a better quarterback than Mendoza was.
Well,
I realize that Mendoza's playing for a national championship. I got it.
Well,
that doesn't mean anything into the following year.
But also, we've seen Shuck take the majority of the starter snaps for a team playing on Sunday. So I feel like we have a better sample size. Even though, Mendoza is playing for a championship at freaking Indiana, but he's doing it under what seems like the second coming of Nick Saban and Signetti. So, I mean, we'll see, with the cake bake and everything. But I certainly think that...
I think Signetti's a great coach, but I think this is going to be we're in a era to where coaching will matter, but that dollar bill is going to matter more.
Oh yeah, no.
Now we'll
100%.
We'll see what happens.
Indiana is flexing. Indiana and Texas Tech are flexing right now.
Yeah, because both of them, the adjusted NIL, both of them are in the $5 million range, in the plus area.
Well,
now granted, we're like in 3. We're like up 3, and I think we paid a lot for. I think we paid a lot for Isaac. I want the kid to be healthy. And I want him to be the most productive version of himself that he can be, so that he can go be a great pro. I want that for him.
Well, selfishly, I want him to do that because Rummage had the take, and maybe I'm snorting some red-colored copium, but I do think a healthy Isaac Brown wins a couple of those games this year.
Absolutely.
I mean, and not just him, but just a healthy running back room in general.
Yeah.
But especially him, I feel like you were a couple plays away.
I think we are. Play call. I've said it before. I've said it before on here. I've said it. I've called and talked to several people. I think we were play calling away, and maybe we couldn't call the plays because we didn't have faith that Isaac and Duke and Keywan were going to be able to be healthy. Maybe we didn't have faith that we could throw the two freshmen out there and that they were going to be as productive as they were in the Kentucky game.
Yeah.
We were asking them to do one thing, and honestly, both of those kids, one of them's from Owensboro, one of them's from North Hardin or whatever.
Yeah.
And
they're in-state kids, right?
In-state kids, and they wanted to show out and beat the other big school.
In-state, right?
So, in doing that, that's a different level of performance prep or excitement or effort. He's gonna I think both of them were prepared to just collapse on the field,
right?
Just to get the win,
just because it was that.
We're going to do everything we can to prove that we were the best in the state,
right? And they did do that to their everlasting 100%. Credit. So I would say I put my grades for the transfer portal A- for U of L.
Yeah.
It would be a little bit higher if I don't know, maybe had a little
one more offensive line.
That's one more offensive lineman, and let's be honest.
If I knew I had a dude that was a center that was a commander of the line,
right,
that would have been hey, straight A.
Yeah,
straight A off the top. If I knew I had a commander of the line. In the way that we kind of had, Niger was very good. God, now I'm going to forget the guy that was before him. He had the commercial. He married the girl on the track team.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Help us out.
Big old beard on him.
Yeah. help us out on the if you gave me multiple choice, I'd get it. Like I can't think of it.
He was my. If we could have another version of him, please.
Yeah,
and I can't even remember his name.
Right. It's
my brain. I'll as soon as we get off of here, my brain will click through, and I'll be like, oh yeah,
yeah. I'll be halfway home. Yeah, stopping at Taco Bell, and I'll know. But what grade do you give UK? I give them a solid B plus.
Yeah, B plus,
yeah.
maybe
a high B. But yeah,
I might even give them because again, I love the offensive lineman that they got.
Yeah, and
I just do.
And all of this started around that Ohio lineman. This knocked a Marrow back and forth. Started around him, and because, I can't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about
because he was at Ohio State before, right?
I believe so. And the whole was it Nocta retweeting the thing from Marrow from the past about the state of Ohio, and then it turned into a whole thing. That was kind of the first shell that was fired, the first volley, if you will. But yeah, I mean it'll be fun to see. What isn't fun, though, I feel like we should kind of segue a little bit, is locally on the basketball side.
Oh, no, it's awful.
It is, I mean, I'm not trying to lick sprinkles off the donut. I was actually listening to the end of the UK game, leaving the bowling alley last night. Jeanette was in her car, and she was listening to it, and we kind of had it, we could hear it on each other's speakerphones. An exciting end. Goose Gibbons was rather jacked up about it.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest.
Shot.
Yeah. Nobody say that I'm BBN Nicky. I'm not in the mood for that. But I do like Malachi Moreno. He's in the UK basketball.
Johnson kid,
Jasper Johnson.
Yeah. I think they're both good players.
I
don't want to hate them. I'm gonna hate them, but I think they're both good players.
No, I like both of those.
If they were wearing red, I'd be super excited.
Jalen Lowe, I will say, tip of the hat. I think for him to be playing injured, and I mean, we all kind of knew that he was one bump away from anyone who's had a shoulder injury.
What was funny is I remember Andy made this comment in early December about right when he came back around, hey, listen, what happens if
right?
Like it was like the game that he came back, the lead up to the game on his show that day. It was what happens if.
Right.
What are you going to do?
And it seemed like a foregone conclusion that you were on borrowed time with him.
Right.
But I do think it'll be interesting. Jaden Quayton's not playing last game. What the future holds for him. Obviously, Louisville finds themselves in a similar predicament with their star player, their lottery pick, being injured and everything. Yeah. And by the way, I want to give a shout out to Middays with Marcus Maven. They've done a really good job breaking down the roster and some options, some things that they've been upset about and how they think they can fix it. Hour 1 today on the podcast, which I fixed. It got podcasted wrong, but we fixed it. Hour 1, Maben and Rummage break it down. Hour 2, Rummage and Coach Liebs break it down, and it was pretty good stuff. So check that out on the podcast center at ESPNLouisville.com if you missed that earlier today. But where do you want to start? The UK side, the UofL side, or we can kind of mesh them together? I don't know. And then we got to eat some bagels.
Yeah, I think, I think somebody has to say something to Woolley, and Woolley has to become the point guard. Because I think he's the only one that can. We can't. Listen. You're not going to be able to put the ball in Conwell's hands and hope that he can also play the game that you wanted him to play while Brown was the point guard,
right? Because
he's not capable. He can't do both.
No, and
for whatever reason, he can't accomplish both things.
Well, we kind of talked about this in the bullpen. I want to say it was Zachy C and Louie and me and maybe Rummage when he got there. Rummage and Louie usually come in about the same time, and we have a little bit of a coffee and donuts discussion. And we were like, I think it was Louie. Louie was the one that said that. It doesn't matter. But we're just talking about how it seems like they've regressed. Mikal Brown now has been out for about a month, and I'm not down on Coach Kelsey. I like him. Seemingly, it's gone on long. I mean, it's been a sample size of the season that Mikal Brown's been out, and they're playing worse and worse basketball, specifically on the defensive side, something that I don't necessarily think that Mikal Brown would have a massive impact on.
Right.
And I'm not saying that he wouldn't help. I mean, he's long. He's not super big, but he's long,
Right.
like, and everything. But you could understand how you could see his impact on the offensive side. McNeely's production has gone down, the UVA game notwithstanding,
I think
since he's been gone.
Again, I think not having an administrator of the offense.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to have to just be the sacrificial lamb.
But why is the defense so bad then?
I mean, honestly, because they play pack line. They play with a version of the pack line defense, right? It's not about staying directly in front. It's about always constant help. And if you don't have someone, and maybe Brown was a better leader of this, like, it's not pack line in the way that, like, Virginia used to play it, or even Chris Mack used to play it, but it's still there. Like, it's embedded in the way that Kelsey is going to coach. What you kind of need with what I think he's doing is a rim protector, which we don't have. I think we were hoping that we weren't going to lose James Scott. I think we were hoping that Sananda Frew was going to be a little bit more of a rim protector. I think he's good. I think he can't shoulder it by himself.
No, right. I kind of wonder if they thought Kaysen would be prior would kind of pick up some of that,
and that we would already have these people, because I don't think anybody could have mistaken Khalifa as a rim protector or Zugris.
I could hear the argument of Zoo just because of the physicality.
I mean, he's wide, but he's not tall.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I don't see him having just massive athletic ability. And I think if you've got somebody in there, if you've got a James Scott, even if you've got Kaysen Pryor who comes back who can play in that role, if you've got a version of Frew that's not trying to shoulder it by himself, and you have Ruth's and some of the support that he can provide, right? Because his body's not built to just be down there all the time, but he's one of the help side guys that, like, comes over when Frew is being the main deterrent. He's the assist on the block.
Right.
And you've seen him do that a couple times this year, just not to the level that I personally hoped that he would be able to do. This whole thing about switching to 2-3 zone, I love that everybody thinks that's so fucking simple.
Right. I mean,
I got it. Like you can teach elementary school kids to play 2-3 zone, right?
Right.
They're not good at it.
No, right.
I think people they're not good at it. They can be there.
I think people think, and I don't know, maybe it was just because with the Pitino mind meld defense that was so complex,
right?
That took up until basically the midway part, I would feel like, of conference play, that you really felt like they would get it and it would click.
That boxing one real heavy,
right? Exactly.
Which is complicated because everybody else has got a support role for the one guy that's supposed to be standing on their ball handler's neck. So
I think people just think because it's not calculus that it's basic arithmetic, and I'm kind of with you. I don't know if it's necessarily that simple to completely change up a defensive scheme mid-season.
I've yet to, and I've not heard every word that Coach Lieberman has said, but I have yet to hear him go, "Yeah, that's easy."
Yeah, right.
Like I've not heard him shrug that off. Yeah, that's easy. Why not?
Right.
I don't know why they're not doing it. It's fucking simple.
I do.
It's just a 2-3 zone. Who cares? Now, what I do think they're more capable of, right, is instead of trying to institute this completely different version of defense on the half court end, I do think they would be better off at increasing full court pressure or 3/4 court pressure. I think I think that is an easier thing to accomplish than it is to change the half court defense into a zone, because you're already man to man majority of the time. Now turn that man to man and just ramp it up into effort. Like, hey, listen, the press is going to increase this. You're going to have to,
do they have the athleticism to do that? Do they have the wheels to do that?
So I think Wooley's absolutely athletic enough to do it. Kobe.
That was the one that was the one that I was.
Would there be a fall off? Yes. Can Isaac McNeely do it? No.
No. Right.
The answer for can McNeely be a part of that is absolutely not. But we do have Roos is an incredibly athletic guy. Conwell can step in, and he's incredibly athletic. He can do that sort of thing. We have people that can probably accomplish it and not gas the two guys out, because you don't have a Peyton Siva and a Russ Smith that are essentially unbreakable human beings for whatever reason, right? I don't know why, but those dudes could go forever.
Yeah, they had a motor for it. It's interesting you bring up effort, because Andy pointed this out, and I thought this is where I got a little worried. We can get into the Mikal Brown stuff, but on the Louisville end, the UVA game, they just seemed to come out flat in that game. And this is where I do feel like the loss of Mikal, because he's the type of guy that can stop an opposing team's run and just get you a basket. But UVA gets out. I mean, we saw it during the UK game. Yep. UK is making a push. Mikal had a couple of possessions. Something. But UVA jumps out to that 14-0 lead, and it just felt like the Cards were deflated the whole game. And I mean, they did scratch and claw their way back, but by and large, it didn't feel.
No one's going to love what I'm about to say.
Okay.
We're watching the maturation of the coach. Mm-hmm. He's a good coach. He's not going to leave it. We're not watching a 4-win team. We're not watching an 8-win team. He is a good coach that's going to get us wins. He's probably going to get into the tournament every year. But for us to truly become, outside of like Brown coming back and just being on fire, I don't believe we're probably looking at a team that's national championship quality.
No.
However, that would be flash in the pan type thing. Like, hey, listen, we had this player did it, right? Inside of a developing system. I think Kelsey is learning who he needs to be as a coach at this level, because it's the level jump is different.
Yeah,
Pope's going through the same thing. Whereas like the SEC is better than the Big 12. And the competition that you're getting is massively intense, and where the things you used to do, or the hiccups that you would come into by losing your best player, didn't destroy your team, because at College of Charleston you were going to play whoever in the Colonial Athletic League or something. I don't know.
That's a good pull out of you if that's right.
Like they're gonna play some bums that have no business even remotely sniffing the tournament, right? Like they're not even going to get close. So in that particular case,
they're a one-bid league, right?
His coaching skill was never tested to this level. This is a learning thing.
Yeah, and he's also developing better players,
right,
too.
There's a difference between this learning thing and the Kenny Payne learning thing. Could Kenny Payne figured out how to be Pat Kelsey right now? Maybe like 7 or 8 years. But you're going to watch Kelsey mature. We've not had to watch this in forever. We've been so spoiled. And I think Max struggled with some of this too, about, hey, listen, I didn't encounter these problems in the way that I'm encountering them now, and I'm struggling to adjust. And then COVID broke the guy.
Yeah.
Which I still think he's a good coach.
Yeah,
just not one we're going to love. And so, there's and again, Kentucky's going through the same thing. Kentucky lost literally the only viable, consistent player that could run the point. Johnson's probably going to turn into a person that can. He's just not there. He's not there. And he was a 5-star. The kid was a 5-star, and he's just not there. It's harder than it is. All of these things are harder than people give it credit for. Like, again, basketball is not like Drew says. Basketball is not the offensive line schemes that run that are so complex that you're not seeing it when you're watching it. Yes, it's a little bit easier for our eyes to really fall in through what basketball is, and for us to understand it at a much better level than what we can do on offensive line play. However,
doesn't mean
still hard.
Yeah, right.
Listen, the execution of this stuff is still hard.
Right.
And like Kelsey has to put together all of the right things, and then the players have to execute it. Like it's more complex in that way because it is such the difference between football and basketball is football you're stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting.
Yeah, there's
basketball
less of
is such a free flow thing,
right?
That unfortunately, what you will do is you will fall back to your habits. Like you will fall back to your habits that maybe aren't great as of yet because you haven't had the opportunity to develop them into the way that you want them to match what we're supposed to be doing every day. Because half the team's only been here for 6 months.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's some adjustment that we're going to have to make to our eye to understand that bad habits still follow these kids. Conwell is a perfect example of the reason he can't run the point is because what he's going to do is he's going to hunt shots, because the reason he didn't go to a high-level D1 school straight out of high school isn't because he can't play basketball well. It's that he can't play basketball at a team level because he's a gun.
System. Yeah.
Right, because he's a freaking gun. He hunts shots. He's great at it. But you can't give that dude the ball.
Right. It's a round peg, square hole situation.
Right, or what? Who was it? He went to Arkansas after us. Eli.
L. Ellis.
L. Ellis. Another kid that's like Conwell's better. There's no doubt in my mind Conwell's better. But same mental process, right? I can go score. I know I can go score. I can go score on a lot of people.
Right.
But that's not what's going to work at this level. You aren't that dominant. Like, could you have inserted 18-year-old LeBron James into that and him do that? Yeah, he'd have been all right. He'd have been just fine. But you can't that generational player, right?
Right.
Did Cooper Flagg get away with more of that last year? Yeah, potentially generational talent, right? Like those kids they just don't exist everywhere. So to ask a kid to do something that he is mentally unprogrammed for, because that's it's what he is.
But Conwell is a veteran player. So do you think that's actually kind of working against him in the sense he has to unlearn some things?
He has to unlearn some things that, like, listen.
And that's a constant challenge in this transfer portal era where you're getting guys.
You're going to get people like
you're getting 1 year, maybe 2 year rentals.
Yep.
So
which is why I like Woolley so much, is because the potential for him to be here for 3 full years.
Oh, I think he has a high ceiling.
I think that kid's going to be amazing.
But is he a player that? I mean, he was really at the start of Mikael Brown's, I don't want to say sabbatical. We'll just, yeah. I mean, and I'm not making light of the injury by any stretch. Anyone who's had a back injury knows that those are tricky things and everything. The longer it goes on, I do wonder if there's other elements, but I mean, that's, in this day and age with money and everything, you kind of wonder. And a guy that has something to play for with being a potential lottery pick, you kind of wonder as well. But, at the start of it, I thought Woolley was really stepping up, and he's been kind of quiet the last couple games. He hasn't been as. There was a lot of talk of his ceiling when he signed for UofL, and of course, there's going to be excitement for a new player and everything like that. But some viable, some people that it wasn't. Cards Fan 69 that was saying this. These were the talent evaluators that were like, no, this guy is a very high ceiling, potential pro player. And there were a couple times, I'm trying to remember which games, I want to say like late December, that he really was balling out.
Yeah.
And I feel like he is a player that has...
He's going to have to adjust and play, because I think he's the only one that can do the distribution of the basketball.
And I don't know, is it inexperience? Is it just the fact that he has more pressure on him now with the longer Mikael's been out and the longer it's not working with Conwell? But why do you think his production has diminished the last couple of games?
Asking him to do different things, trying to learn it.
He's just it's like he's being there's too much being asked of him, and I
think he's figuring out what he's supposed to be doing.
Okay, that's fair enough. I just quick question, but because I know we got to get out of here, we got to eat these bagels. Who comes back first, JQ or Mikal? Right?
Yeah.
It's a tough question.
God, maybe neither.
And that was
Maybe neither.
That was there's a 50%, maybe 55% of me that believes that neither one's coming back, and it's going to be really. The only thing I always wonder about with injuries and everything like that is if you can't get through a 30-game college basketball season.
Yeah, but
But I know there's load management and everything. But when a pro team look at you and be like, I'm not saying you're soft, but like you might be injury prone. Like, I mean, an 82-game NBA schedule is something. But at the same time, I mean,
they have a whole team of people that take care of all that, teach you how to do that. Hey, listen, you can't be like, everybody talked about Brown being in the gym all the time, had to chase him out. Like, hey, listen, you're just not welcome right now. You can't show up. Sorry. You don't get to come in here and do this right now. Your job is to recover. Your job is to do these specific things.
Right. And I still do think that Mikal wants to play, but
no, I think
there's
I think he is hurt.
No, I think he is too, but there's the longer this goes on, the more I get worried about well, I mean, he hasn't played now in a month.
Yeah.
I mean, who's to and let's be honest, he's a good player. He has that it factor.
Yeah.
He can get you a bucket. He can get to the line. But he had a couple of not so great games, and I don't know if it was just youth or whatever, but his shot selection wasn't great.
Yeah.
Like right before he got hurt, that was kind of the rhetoric that was being spewed a little bit. Like, hey, he's good, but he needs to be better.
Yeah.
And you got to think that after a month of not playing, it might take a couple of games for him to get his feet back under him.
Yeah, I agree.
He balled out internationally.
I mean, the only hope is that he's constantly. He's still doing the mind part of it, and not just the physical, not doing the physical part.
That's fair. Now
that's the hope.
Now what about Jaden Quaintance? I mean, I do think, and look, if UK, I know Tennessee isn't as good as they were last year. It's still a Rick Barnes team. They're still tough at home.
They're going to keep it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If UK can get a win, I feel like there's real life to the season still. But last night, Malachi Moreno kept the season alive. I feel like. I mean, and now with Jalen Lowe out, what's to say Quaintance doesn't say pack it in and be like, you know what? I'm just going to continue to recover.
So I don't think he's playing. I don't think there's any potential that he's playing against Tennessee right now. And my belief is that if they get their teeth kicked in, which I do believe is going to happen, that he will not play again.
Really?
No point.
So when do you think Mikal Brown comes back then?
Again,
it depends.
I don't think. I'm starting to lean more towards. I don't think he does.
God, that would suck. Because not to make excuses, but Kelsey obviously schemed this team around him.
Absolutely.
And I'm not making excuses for their woes on defense with Mikal Brown and everything like that. But you got to have a second pitch. Yeah.
Can't just be this one. Because this can happen.
Yeah.
This might be the thing that Kelsey needed to learn.
I think might be
because this feels like last year.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, but there wasn't a Mikal Brown.
No,
those are different big boy waters, and those are waters that even when UofL was successful, they weren't swimming in.
Not a lot.
I think might be your best take of the night. That this might have been a lesson that Kelsey needed to learn. And
again, what we forget is he's still got to grow.
And also, is it also a lesson that what?
It's not a short joke.
Is it also a lesson that the UofL fans need to learn?
Maybe
you want to swim in these big boy waters. You want to get the 5 stars that Cal had 1, 2, 3, 4 of on his team. These are the challenges you have to face. Yep. A guy is weighing up the NBA draft, and that could be influencing his decision to come back.
Yeah,
the juice worth the squeeze?
To some degree, Rick didn't worry about that because he didn't recruit these guys as hard.
No,
so he wanted his guys, which sometimes that means I'm not going to fuck with the high end guys.
Yeah, right, right. I'll develop a 3-star into a 5-star over 3-4 years.
Right.
So
I would love to eat these, and I'm gonna, but I am absolutely gonna have to. I've got to go. So
all right. Well, what do we have here, real fast? So you don't have to eat all of them, but it is National Bagel Day. Happy National Bagel Day.
Blueberry, cinnamon raisin, everything, and Asiago cheese, which I think outside of plain are the staples for
I would agree with that. Poppy seed, sesame seed, but you kind of get that covered with the everything bagel.
I think you see more of that here locally. I think you get that poppy seed, sesame seed in the Northeast.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Everything's a more popular one here.
The egg ones and the garlic in the Northeast, a big fan too. But which one is your favorite?
Everything.
Everything?
It's not even close.
I like that one in the Asiago trees.
So I like the Asiago cheese because I like this with cream cheese. I like this as a sandwich.
Yeah, I like where your head's at. All right, well, I think we should wrap up the show. Janky, let's get you take a bagel for the road. I'll take a bagel for the road. We'll bid everybody adieu. It's been the Gas Bags Podcast. He is
Jason Jenkins.
I am Nick Valvano. Tanner Bruttomesso running the board right now for the Bellarmine game. Also, I believe we have women's basketball post-game coverage over on 93.9. The Ville. How did that game turn out?
The biggest biscuit.
The biggest biscuit, Chrissy Banta. Yep. Let's see how the UofL women's team did. I don't know. 79-66. Jeff Walls getting it done, staying undefeated in ACC play. You got to love it. We will bid everybody adieu. Hopefully catch up with you next week, maybe around Tuesday. Like, share, and subscribe to ESPN Louisville Plus. Shout out to our man Justin Sofero for making this happen. And we will enjoy your bagels. Happy National Bagel Day. And we will see you next week.